Every time you open an application, the algorithmic system runs a small experiment. Every day, millions of people, millions of experiments to learn about your behavior. If a system can measure behavior, it can optimize behavior, influence how we feel, what we do, and what we believe. 39 minutes in 2019 versus 58 minutes a day in 2025 was spent on YouTube. 95 minutes a day was spent on TikTok, nearly 11 hours a week. Engagement, retention, conversion, and time spent on platform, these are measurable, therefore optimizable, and systems optimize towards the metrics they are rewarded for. Let's zoom out quickly. What's at the heart of our behavior? Your brain reinforces things that reliably change internal state.
Yes, I won! Oh, a new notification?
Our measuring system favors speed, contrast, reliability, consistency.
This is nice.
If something reliably changes in internal state, it gets reinforced. Over time, the brain predicts the value of the cue itself, not just the experience. The human system optimizes for whatever shifts internal state. Computational systems optimize for engagement. That's convergence of two separate systems. You optimize your behavior occasionally. Platforms optimize millions of behaviors every day. They test, they adjust, and they refine continuously. They feed you data faster than you can pause. And that feed-in creates more wanting of the same thing they are feeding you. Optimization requires data, engagement patterns, time of use, duration of use, watch time, likes, dislikes, comments, and shares, interests, beliefs, behavior patterns, interaction history, and content preferences. Even micro behaviors such as how long you pause a video for, how quickly you scroll, and whether you replay a clip or not, all to learn about your behavior. It's not personal, it's just that you are part of a large data set. Digital systems operate in a very different domain than human cognition. They store enormous amounts of data for extremely long periods of time. They retrieve it instantly, process it continuously, and update models millions of times a day. Human memory is selective. Computational memory is never-ending, which means systems optimization can occur faster than awareness develops. When systems appear to anticipate our preferences, it can feel personal, specifically chosen for us by some deity.
Send him the funny cat video.
But what we're seeing is pattern detection at an enormous scale. Human attention has been monetized because attention determines exposure, and exposure drives purchasing behavior. Users' attention and data is captured by platforms and sold to advertisers. It's an influential market. If friction is removed, our desire to stop and think before action, awareness is lost. Autoplay, infinite scroll, short-form content, novelty, refresh mechanisms, high information density, push notifications, recommendation engines. Many systems also use variable reinforcement. You never know which piece of content will deliver the reward. Each one removes a pause, and friction is where awareness lives. Remove the pause, shorten the loop. This is accelerated reinforcement. Personally, as a millennial for a long time, the symbol of addiction was the slot machine, a device engineered for continuous reinforcement. Pull the lever, sometimes you win, sometimes you don't. The uncertainty keeps you pulling, it keeps you refreshing. That mechanism is called variable reinforcement. Today, that device fits inside of your pocket. Work, communication, navigation, entertainment, and information. Which means that the thing that is reinforced and reinforcing is always within reach. Let's look at a few examples of contrast. No disrespect to any of these uploaders or creators.
This is why the church tells you not to do yoga. The nervous system. Don't waste your money. This is how the first you don't succeed. Everything that's going on right now in the world. You see, when you become unstoppable is why the situation in Gaza is. The one thing I want you to focus on this week is. I'm not political. You're not procrastinating.
We've all experienced it. You open an application and content appears that feels extremely relevant. Almost like they're spying on you, like they know everything about you, listening on the microphone. Probably not. What you're likely experiencing is pattern prediction. You engage with the content, it adjusts, it refines, and it delivers more precise content based on your engagement. What you're seeing is an algorithm doing its job very well. If behaviour is trackable, patterns are detectable. If patterns are detectable, they're optimizable. Art often amplifies real life. Social media content is highly curated and highly adapted to our sensory systems. Sight, colours, brightness, contrast, motion. Hearing, volume contrast, pitch contrast, distinct timbre, directional sound cues. All of these create contrast and capture our focus. In fact, we see the same thing in the food industry. Taste, sweetness, saltiness, sourness, bitterness, umami, odour intensity, crispiness, temperature, texture, all part of the human experience. But these variables are optimizable and maximizable, engineered for reliable internal shifts. It's not just what we see or hear. Emotions also drive engagement. Joy, fear, anger, surprise, disgust, anticipation, belonging, shame, love. Algorithms often cycle between these emotional contrasts because contrast drives attention.
You've broken the law and now you must pay.
Consider this. To some degree, the lived human experience has been quantified and delivered in digital form. And now this experience is available in unlimited quantity. When high intensity and high density input becomes the dominant regulator of internal state, adaptation follows. Reduced sensitivity to mild stimuli, reduced attention span, cognitive fatigue, reduced executive control, a decrease in conscious focus, diminished appreciation for simpler experiences. Because our thresholds shift. If our system repeatedly trains on contrast, speed, and novelty, mild inputs begin to feel flat. Slower tasks begin to feel effortful. Quiet experiences feel under-stimulating. What once felt easy now feels difficult. That's calibration of our system. When decision-making gradually orients around system incentives, things change. Human belonging, giving and receiving becomes systems-based. The human feedback we once received now comes from dashboards and social media feeds. Traditional systems have weakened and digital systems have replaced them, and those systems are maintained and optimized continuously. The platforms that started as tools or entertainment can gradually become constraints or dependencies. If you're not aware of these optimization systems, you lose self-agency. You become dopamine misoriented. You're not competing with a person, You're inside a continuously optimizing environment, one that tests, adjusts, and adapts faster than casual awareness. This is not about fear or conspiracy, it's about scale, speed, intelligent systems, and convergence. Your brain optimizes for reliable internal state change. Modern systems optimize for reliable engagement. When those meet, reinforcement loops accelerate. Awareness changes where your focus goes, and focus, your most valuable cognitive resource, is what those systems compete for.